media reports. Gaps in Gaza ceasefire talks underway in Qatar between Israel and Hamas can be bridged, but it may take more than a few days to reach a deal, Israeli officials have said it today. The new push by U.S., Qatari and Egyptian mediators has gained pace since Sunday when indirect talks began in Doha. Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff, who helped craft the ceasefire proposal, will travel to Doha this week to join discussions, according to White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt. The proposal envisions a phased release of hostages, Israeli troop withdrawals from parts of Gaza, and talks on ending the war entirely. Hamas has demanded a complete end to the war before freeing hostages. Israel, meanwhile, has insisted it will not halt fighting until all hostages are released and Hamas is dismantled. Palestinian sources have said that gaps remain on the entry of the humanitarian aid into Gaza. Senior Israeli officials in Washington said it may take more than a few days to finalize agreements in Doha, but did not detail the sticking points. Another Israeli official said there has been progress. Now we're joined by Yossi Cooper-Wasser. He's an Israeli intelligence and security expert joining us live from Tel Aviv. Thank you, Yossi, for joining us today. Welcome to NewsX.
Thank you for having me.
Good to see you. What are the key conditions, or what do you think are the sticking points that's not been disclosed yet, but Israel insists on before agreeing to any ceasefire deal?
Well, first of all, I think it's the issue of whether this is going to be the end of the war or just a temporary ceasefire. Because the agreement is about a temporary ceasefire of 60 days. But Hamas wants to turn it into the end of the war, to get guarantees that this is going to be the end of the war. And we are not going to be ready to achieve a full ceasefire or full end of the war as long as Hamas is still in power in Gaza. So this is a sticking point that is a very problematic one. On top of that, there are two other points that are important. The one is that Hamas insists on wider Israeli withdrawal from Gaza in the context of the ceasefire, and we are ready to withdraw partially and keep the southern part of the Gaza Strip under our control. And the second is the question of how the humanitarian aid is going to be distributed. We want to keep distributing the aid not through Hamas, namely through the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation that is delivering the aid in southern Gaza for some weeks now. And Hamas wants to make sure that all the aid that is going to be distributed through the United Nations organizations that operate together with Hamas and allow Hamas to take control of the food that's coming in and sell it later for high prices. So these are the main sticking points.
And Yossi, given the differing demands on hostage release and troop withdrawals, what realistic outcomes can we expect from these talks in the coming days?
Well, I guess there's going to be some sort of compromise on those three sticking points that would allow us to have a deal. And Israel is participating in the talks in order to find those compromises that would not mean giving up the control of Gaza in the future into the hands of Hamas. And this is going to be something that Hamas will have to live with. Hamas will probably insist on their positions. So it's not going to be easy, and that's why we hear people saying that even though there is progress in the talks, it's not clear that we have reached already the compromise we are seeking to reach.
Yossi, thank you so much. You will stay with us as we stay in the region. Qatar says Doha talks are currently